Hello PHOTOPILLERS, Rafael Doar here. Imagine that you're in a beautiful location, you just love what you're seeing. After scouring a bit the location, you find a really cool composition. And you say to yourself, it's too bad the sun is not right there. It would have made a great photo. Well, in this video I'll show you how to use PhotoPills to find the right date and time the sun will be right where you want it to be in the frame, so you can go and take the photo you want. And I'll show it to you with an example. Let's plan this photo. Let's plan when the sun sets next to the Punta Nati lighthouse in Menorca. Of course, this workflow works for sunrises too, and also for moonrises and moonsets. By the way, if you wish to learn how to plan the next full moon, just watch this video. Okay, are you ready? Let's go! Go to PhotoPills and tap on Planner. The first step is to place this red pin you see on the map on the shooting spot. Remember that I know my shooting spot, I know where I want the sun to be, and I need to figure out when that photo really happens. So let's place the red pin right on my shooting spot. To move the red pin, there are several ways to do it. You can watch this video if you want to learn how to move the red pin. You could just tap on load and type the name of the location where you want to place the red pin, for example. But in this example, I know where the place is and the place has no name, so all I have to do is navigate the map until I find my shooting spot, which is right over here. This nice spot here. And now to place the red pin, I just need to tap and hold where I want to place the red pin. That's simple. So this is going to be my shooting spot, and the Punta Nati lighthouse is right over here. This is going to be my subject. The next step is to place the black pin right where I want the sun to be. Let's do it. If you remember the photo I'm planning, I just want the sun to be setting in front of the Punta Nati lighthouse, just above these stone constructions you see here on the map. So here's where I'll place the black pin. So swipe the top panel to the right until you get to panel number 2, this one, and tap on the button you see on the panel, and the black pin will appear on the panel. And now you can drag and drop it and just leave it where you want the sun to be. In this case, just in front of my lighthouse and above my old stone constructions. Great, I have the black pin where I want the sun to be, and my red pin is right on the shooting spot. Let's figure out now when this photo happens. To find when this photo happens, tap on Find, and here on iOS you have 4 options, but on Android you only have 2 options, sun and moon. And the reason is because we only use actually 2 options here on iOS. We use sun at azimuth and elevation when we want to look for a sun at a specific spot in the sky, and moon at azimuth and elevation when you want to look for the moon at a specific spot in the sky. So in this case we're looking for a sun, so tap on sun at azimuth and elevation on iOS or on sun on Android. So let's do it. And here we have to tell PhotoPills 3 key things. First is the day range. This is the day range we want PhotoPills to look for results when the photo will happen. The second one is the azimuth, so we need to tell PhotoPills where we want the sun to be, the direction. And the third one is the elevation, how high in the sky you want the sun to be. But let's start with the beginning, with the day range. Tap on day range, and now tap on start date, and tell PhotoPills to start from today. Tap on today. Then tap on the black area you see on the screen, and as end date I'll tell PhotoPills to look for results in 1 year, starting today in 1 year. Cool, let's go back to the previous screen and let's introduce the azimuth. And the cool thing about the azimuth is that this yellow pin you see on the map is linked to the black pin, so the azimuth is already set. I told PhotoPills I want the sun to be setting aligned with this yellow pin, with this stone constructions here. So it's cool. You have the azimuth number right on the panel. This is an azimuth of 259.44 degrees, plus minus 3 degrees, which is the tolerance, the error. And you can see this tolerance here on the map by this yellow area. For this shot, this tolerance is a bit too much, so I'll reduce it. How to reduce it? Super simple. Tap on numeric and set an error of, in this case I'll set it to, say, 1 degree, because I really want to be precise with the direction of the sunset in this case. And as you see, The yellow sector now is much more smaller. It's always good to set a tolerance. You can set a larger tolerance if you're able to move around your shooting spot, so you can adjust your shooting spot. So the more you can move around in your shooting spot, the larger can be the tolerance. It will give you more results, more possible for opportunities. The black area you see on the map is telling you that the sun is never in those directions. So if the yellow pin falls in this black area you see on the map, you won't find the sun. That photo is not possible. Great, we have the day range, the azimuth. Let's set the elevation. Tap on elevation, and here you can set the elevation just dragging this the sun picture on the picture. In this case I want the sun to be setting, so I'll set it to 0 degrees. In the same way, you have this dark area here on the picture, which is telling you that for the day range you've set and the azimuth range you've set, the sun is never at those elevations. So never look for the sun here, you need to look it here. In this case, 0 degrees for a sunset. As you see, I'm looking for the sun to be at an elevation of 0 degrees plus minus 0.5 degrees. This is the tolerance for the elevation. If you want to change it, tap on numeric again, and here you can set and change the tolerance. In this case, I'll keep the error to 0.5 because for the elevation of the sun I don't really need too much tolerance. I really want the sun to be at 0 degrees, so for me 0.5 is a good number to start with. Also, you had the building right where the black pin is. You could introduce, for example, here the height of the building. Let's say the building has a height of 30 meters. If I set 30 meters here, what I'm telling PhotoPills is to look for results when the sun is going to be right at the top of the building, where the center of the sun is going to be right at the top of the building. So it's that easy. Place the black pin, in this case the yellow pin, on your building, and then introduce the height you want the sun to be, and it's a really easy way to set the elevation. But in this case I want elevation of 0 degrees for a sunset. Cool. The final step is to tap on the search button here at the top, and I get a table with all the possible dates and time the sun is gonna be within the search parameters. This means that the sun is gonna be setting right in front of the Punta Nati lighthouse. Let's check the first result. This happens on Sunday, October 11, 2020, around 7:06 p.m. So tap on the result, and as you see, the sun is actually setting within the search parameters. This is pretty close to my stone constructions. Now I just could, adjust a bit my shooting spot to align the sunset. I'll be closer to my stone constructions. Or I could just look for the next result. Just tap on find again, and I check the second result, which happens on the October the 12th, the same hour more or less. Cool, we're getting closer. A cool thing about the sun is that every day the sun sets at half degree of distance. So the easiest way to adjust my shooting date is just by swiping the time bar until you find the date it happens, like this one. So actually it happens on the following date. This is on October 13th, 2020. But yeah, for the sun it's super simple. When you do the find thing and you find more or less the sun is going to be in a certain date in that spot you want, you can adjust a bit the shot by just changing the date with the time bar and adjusting where the sun is setting. It's as simple as swiping the time bar. Do it because it's super simple. The moon is another story. It's far much less predictable. Great, I've just planned my shot. I have my shooting spot. This is my red pin position, and the sun is setting, pretty aligned with my stone construction right in front of the Punta Nati lighthouse. And this happens on October 13th, 2020, around 7:04 p.m. Cool. You wish to see the sun size on the map so you can compare the sun size with your subject size. Just tap on the map settings button and then tap on sun layer, and then make sure you switch on show sun size like this. Now if you go back to the map, the sun size will appear on the map. You see that the azimuth line of the sun now is an area which is telling you how big the sun will be. And you also have the sun size you'll get in the photo right on the top panel. In this case, the sun size is 34.9 meters. Another cool thing you can do is that on the day of the shooting, when you go to the red pin position, when you're in the field in the red pin position, you can tap on the AR button and actually visualize the shot. Here you have the horizon, so all I have to do is to look for my sun set in this case. Okay, the sun is setting in this direction. As you see, it's about this side you have the horizon and the sunset. Even I can just swipe my finger on the screen and see how the sun actually sets. This will help you a lot to understand the shot you're getting and to understand that you are more or less at the shooting spot. Great, the next step is to plan the field of view, the frame and the depth of field. Let's continue. To plan the field of view and the depth of field on the map, tap on the map settings button and switch on the depth of field map tool, this one. Go back to the map and here you can introduce all the settings you want to use for your photo. For example, if you're using the Canon EOS R with a 500mm at an aperture of f8, and if I'm focusing at, let's say, my black pin, so where my lighthouse is, where my stone construction are, so I make sure that the lighthouse and the stone constructions are sharp in the photo. So like this, and let's say I want to shoot in portrait and I want to shoot in the direction, so tap on the direction of the black pin, so tap on align with black pin, so I can align my field of view with my black pin. Cool. On the map what you see actually is the field of view, what will be in the frame and outside the frame. In this case I see that the lighthouse falls a bit outside the frame, so I will adjust it a little bit. Just tap and hold this black dot here and you can swipe it, so you can adjust the framing like this. Cool, I think it's pretty cool. What I like about this tool is that it allows me to visualize both the field of view, so what will be in the frame and outside the frame, but also how big the sun will be in my photo. As you see, the sun is pretty big in this case. Regarding the depth of field, if you want to get everything in focus, I mean your subject, in this case the lighthouse and the sun, you need to make sure that the focus distance, remember that in this case I'm focusing at my stone constructions, the focus distance has to be larger than the hyperfocal distance. And here on the map you have the hyperfocal distance. For these settings, the hyperfocal distance is more or less 1.04 kilometers, almost 1k, and my focus distance is almost 4k, is 3.75 kilometers. So I'm safe. If I focus right where the black pin is to my stone constructions, I'm focusing a larger distance than the hyperfocal, so I'll get in focus both my subject, the lighthouse and my stone constructions, and the background, my sun, which is what I want. That easy it is to plan the depth of field and the field of view on the map. Just use this awesome tool. If you want to master depth of field, watch this video. There you'll find everything you need to understand depth of field. Watch it. Okay, once I have planned my shot, next step is to save the plan and set an alert so I make sure I don't miss the shot. Let's do it. To save the plan, just tap on save and now tap on plan, new plan, and add the name. So this is a sunset Punta Nati lighthouse. Nice. I've just saved the plan. Awesome. Now a second thing I like to do is to add an alert to my calendar. To do it, just tap on more, action, and here you can do several things. You can email the plan to a friend, and if your friend is a PhotoPiller, he or she will be able to import it onto PhotoPills. And also you can add an alert to your calendar. So just tap on add to a calendar and set the alert you need. That simple. And that's it. This is how you can use PhotoPills to plan any sunset and sunrise you imagine. As always, if you need help, just leave a comment below. And if you wish to learn how to photograph sunsets and sunrises, I'm leaving a link in the description of this video to our super detailed sunset photography guide. And if you like this video, give me a like, subscribe, and click on the bell to get notified when we publish the next video. And remember that you have the power to imagine, plan, and shoot legendary photos. Bye.